Both of us missed a fair amount of work this week, Cody.
I know we did.
I took the front half of the week, and you took the back half. No, we both took the front half.
I missed 3 days this week.
Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday? Is that what you missed?
I rushed back Wednesday. Well, not rushed back, but I went back Wednesday, and I was like, okay, I feel better. And I worked all day, and it hit about, 6, 7 o'clock that night. I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling very well. And I wake up at 3 in the morning with fever dreams again.
Yeah, you don't sound good still.
Jesus.
No, I'm,
You're plugged up to the gills.
Yeah.
Have you taken any Mucinex D?
No, I've taken Dayquil,
Sudafed?
No, I think that's to when you're congested, that's to break it up.
Hell
right?
yeah.
I've been blowing my nose for 5 days straight. I wanted to stop.
Yeah.
Did you throw some Claritin on there just for good measure?
Everyone always talks about Claritin D. Get it out of here. I don't want it.
No, I don't want it. Zyrtec, boy.
Zyrtec for life, baby.
I don't know. I took it last year when I was having problems, but I don't know if I have allergies or not.
Did you get your flu shot yet?
No. Well, technically, if I got the flu, then I should be immune now, right?
I have no idea. I got a flu shot for the first time this year.
So you're probably immune.
I don't know. My arm hurt for a while. 3 or 4 days.
See, that's what I've heard about the flu shot, and I have never gotten one.
Wait, weren't you sick for a day after you got it?
Sort of. My little tum-tum was a little upset, but I don't know if it was from that or not.
I remember when I got a tetanus shot once.
Yeah, that sucks too.
Because I got that, and then I was sick as fuck for the next day. I remember that. I don't know if that's normal, but maybe that's why the anti-vaxxers don't want you to get any of that stuff.
I got it because I'm around little baby Davis and my grandma and stuff like that. It's I'll just make sure I don't pass it around.
That's a good point, actually. I'm not around any high-risk people, I guess, so I should be okay.
Flus kill babies and geriatrics. That's how it works, my friend.
Do they kill normal people, too, sometimes?
Yeah, we're due for, a massive outbreak. We're due for a huge flu.
I hope so.
Jesus, Jordan, why are you such a fucking edgelord?
Man, you know I'm a misanthropist.
No, you're a misogynist.
I'm really not.
So what, you just want a flu to wipe out the population?
Yeah, I mean, we need a nice, just human extinction.
Well, the planet thinks so because it goes in cycles, and we haven't had one in quite a long time, since the Spanish flu.
I feel like
after World War I.
They would need a new version, a modified version of typhoid. Or, what's the long one that killed a lot of people?
Tuberculosis. Consumption.
Yeah. One of those would probably do it.
Yeah, that would be scary as fuck.
I feel like one of those could come around at any time. Is that a sign of the apocalypse, one of those? Is that pestilence? One of those?
Maybe.
You get a weird disease.
It's been a while since I cracked my Bible. Since I cracked that volume open.
We're very morbid today.
Yeah. We're all tired and sad. It's snowing out in October.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
that. Yeah, that's some bullshit. I woke up, took the dog out, and I was just getting hit in the face with big fat snowflakes.
Yeah.
Well, it's sleeting now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't look like it's supposed to snow.
No, or stick, because it's going to be 50.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking everyone's has this doom and gloom going on where they're like, okay, it's going to be the worst snow history, in Minnesota's history or whatever, and now it's starting to snow early, which is never a good sign. Right. So,
and Grand Rapids is that's up to their fucking roofs.
Oh, wait, they're getting that much?
Yeah.
Now?
Dude, the Dakotas and shit are getting pounded. Highways were closed by federal order and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like a snowami up there.
I was thinking today, I remember when I was a little kid, I got so excited when there's a lot of snow because I didn't have to go to school. How many times have we gotten work closed down for snow? Well, I don't know if we've gotten closed down, but I know we've gotten sent home early.
And we've gotten you don't have to show up if you don't want to.
Yeah,
we've had those a few times.
We need more of those.
That never happened when I was there.
Okay, can you work when it's if it's snowing today? Can you work in that?
Today, no, because we're not fully prepared for the season yet, but like last year we worked through the polar vortex and shit when it was like 20 below.
The polar vortex. I forgot about the polar vortex.
It's like the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah, no, we just set up like giant 40 by 100 pieces of reinforced poly and like frame it up kind of to make like little tents, and we have like forced propane heaters in there, so like middle of winter we're working in fucking t-shirts.
Sure.
Was that on not last week's Small Town Murder, but the one prior to that? Wasn't the guy a masonry worker and they left they left a hole in the wall and then he snuck through and killed the old lady? Do you remember
awesome. That? No, I don't remember.
You don't remember that
but
one?
Those are like 3 hours, and sometimes if somebody talks to you, I'll be like, huh?
Yeah, I know. But I think that it reminded me of you, Jordan. Like, if you put a hole in the wall, would you just leave it there overnight?
I mean...
Dude, if you ever build a safe, put a fucking hole in there. Then you can climb right back in there.
Yeah, there you go.
You could be like Jumper, but like Mason Jumper.
Jumper?
What is that called? Jumper?
Looper?
No, Jumper with Hayden Christensen.
Oh, I never watched that one. Isn't that a time traveler one?
No, he can go like anywhere.
Oh,
he can jump.
He can just jump
through
wherever
space time. Yeah,
okay.
I think one of them was he jumped in a bank vault, stole some money. And
I remember
then, like, jumped in a river.
They teleported in a bank vault in Now You Can See Me. No.
Now You Can See
Now
Me.
You Can See Me.
Now You
right?
See Me.
Now You See Me.
And then why isn't the sequel called Now You Don't? That's a real question.
Can you still see me?
Now You See Me too. Like, that's awful.
I never watched the second one. I'm sure
you watched the first one?
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't that bad.
Shut up. Shut up.
You just don't like Jesse, whatever his name is.
Herschel and I talked about Between the Bubbles this week.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the poor man's Michael Cera. Jesse Eisenberg.
Well, do you think, are you looking forward to the new Zombieland?
I don't really care.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah, it was great. I'll see it. Trust me, I'll see it. Maybe not in the show, though. I got to go see that Joker in the show.
Yeah, that's on my agenda in the next few days, actually.
Yeah. I mean, me and Amy are going to do that, but we're waiting for all the incels to be done with it.
Oh, did you see that news report where they're like, they're putting a warning out, like, just because, or don't take the Joker too serious and, like, shoot up places? Or be on alert for incels after they see the Joker for shooting out places.
You should be. They're incels.
That's sad.
Don't be scared of the Dweebenheimers.
Do you remember the cringe video of that guy who's like acting like the Joker in his room and his roommate comes in?
And he's like, "What are you doing, bro?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just do the Joker. Do the laugh for me, bro."
I think he's laughing when he walks in, isn't he? Yeah. It's very uncomfortable. Yeah. It's very
all the Joker ones are.
Oh,
I'm the Joker, baby.
Oh, that's the fat guy on stage.
That's brutal.
I'm the Joker, baby.
That's brutal. Welcome, everybody, to the Bumblebutt Podcast, the only podcast on the internet that uploads weekly, except for last week. Mm-hmm. Who knows what it'll be about? Certainly not me. My name is Adam. Sitting across from me is sick boy Q Cody.
Hey, Adam.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm finally starting to feel better. It's Saturday, and I'm finally starting to like not feel like complete fucking garbage. So
your cough sounds productive.
Yeah, dude,
which is good.
I haven't had like that dry cough in a long time. Yeah, sound like a 80-year-old smoker, like on the smokers on the Truth commercials. Yeah. That's what I sounded like.
I used to be a smoker. Yeah, those are my favorite.
I love the commercials where they're like. I seen it today. The guy's like, he's putting a jewel in the kid's hand. He's like, hold on. And it teleports into a cigarette. And he's like, you see that? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you're more likely to start smoking if you start vaping. I'm like, okay. I think it's people do it in the reverse generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, very much so.
That's like the joke is like, I started vaping as a novelty and then I started smoking because I was addicted.
Here's what I could see though. That if they outright ban vaping, then everybody's just going to go smoking. So maybe that's like Philip Morris's grand plan.
Oh, it absolutely is.
It's just foolish. Yeah. The cat's out of the bag now.
I don't even get it. Stupid.
My ass is out of the bag. All right, Cody, that's good. Glad to see it. Glad to hear it. Your week was eventful?
Yeah, a lot of sick... Ooh, I wanted to say, have you guys ever seen the movie Misery?
Yes.
Okay. I watched it for the first time. I haven't seen it,
but I know what it's about.
I watched it for the first time. I had never seen it. Great movie.
James Caan, so good.
Fucking A, that was a good movie.
So good.
Well, Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates also great.
Because I had just got done watching American Horror Story Apocalypse, which is amazing. And she's like super old in that, obviously. And it's weird seeing her as like a super young person. So, yeah, she's good. She plays a great crazy person.
She does.
Can she not play a crazy person?
I mean, she plays a sweetheart in one movie where I was just like, "Oh man, you're such a sweetheart." I never thought I would shake the misery character. Yep, that's okay. Shit, where was I?
You gotta ask Jordan now.
Oh yes. Also sitting across from me is not sick and just looks sick still. Is Jordan.
Hello.
Hey buddy, how are you?
I'm doing well.
How was your week?
It was a pretty solid week.
Did you do anything fun? Did you eat anything interesting?
Man, not really.
All right.
Just kind of a standard week.
Hell yeah.
Morning, my boy being gone, so.
Who's your boy?
Norm.
Oh, fucking Norm, of course. We haven't recorded since he passed.
No, we haven't.
That's toothless son of a bitch.
Right? After 18 years, he finally had to leave.
18's a good run for a tabby boy.
It's not like 170 or 106 in cat years or something like that.
Sounds good to me. He was a wizard.
Yes,
he died a wizard.
He's as old as fucking Bernie Sanders is, I think.
The real one, not his dog.
Did you guys see the troll thing going around on the internet where everyone was saying he was dead? Bernie Sanders died.
No.
I kept seeing that when I was homesick.
I mean, he had a heart attack.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Okay,
so maybe it wasn't a troll. Maybe it was.
They're all like,
maybe it was Cody just misread some articles.
Well, I was watching.
He's got that Iowa comprehension.
Well, I didn't read articles. I was watching Twitch, and everyone was like, "Oh, Bernie Sanders is dead. Bernie Sanders is dead."
Oh yeah, trust Twitch chat. Well, that's the smart call.
You know what? You know what?
You fucking knucklehead. All right, this week we are gonna do something a little different. We're kind of just fucking around here. We don't have a story.
No.
And we're gonna do some funny creepypastas we found on the internet. Right?
Yes.
Right.
I sort of missed the point of the episode, and I found something else, but we'll figure that out when it gets to my turn.
Oh God.
It doesn't matter. The point of these is it's just funny. A lot of these are just stupid and funny, and what is it? Amateur horror writers, I guess.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah. You get about 1% good ones and about 99% stupid ones.
Oh yeah.
But that's
you don't want the good ones though. Like nobody wants to read a good. Because then what are you reading? You're just reading like a middling author that kind of sucks at writing.
Sometimes you can get good ones that are about subjects that are silly. Like that's what mine is.
Sure.
I have one good one, but it's about once you hear the title of it, you're gonna be like, okay, that's fucking weird. Why would you even make a creepypasta about that? But I think you guys will all get the message once I announce it. I guess I can start off.
How many do you have? 2?
I have 3.
How many do you have?
3.
Okay, so we'll do like we'll do like boom, 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 boom. I only have 1, but mine's kind of
that's fine. We'll just see how the time limit
We'll start
goes.
with old codes for. Right. Let's go, baby.
Okay, so mine is The Canadian Geese of Pleasant Lake.
All right.
By A.S. Lowe.
Okay.
See what I mean? Right there.
A.S. Lowe, huh?
Yeah, is that a real name?
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, that's a great author name.
You know, when I seen Canadian Geese, I was like, hey, this is...
Brad.
Yeah, this is right, Brad. I'm sure he wants me dead. I'm positive he wants me dead.
I think he wants everyone dead.
Yeah, that's true.
He might be going over the cliff of sadness.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I think he's getting there.
Keep an eye out on him.
Keep a prayer out on him.
I am a researcher studying Canadian geese for the last 10 years. I've never published my research. Specifically, my small team and I study a small population of Canadian geese that migrate to Arizona during the winter months from Alaska. This work mostly involves checking the new adults tagged during the summer months from our sister team in Alaska. This is important because the specific flock we are keeping track of has 2 unusual things that our teams determine require further study.
Shit. They're evolving. I hope it's teeth or something.
The first is the unusual size of the flock itself.
Oh.
The average size of a migrating flock of Canadian geese usually falls in the range between 30 and 60 individuals. Is that true?
I have no idea.
We're not geeseologists.
Well, I didn't know if maybe Adam hunted them or not.
I do, but geez, I don't know. 30 to 60 sounds big. But
that's a big V, man.
I thought so.
That sounds like a normal day out for Brad.
Yeah, that's a day in the. That's a mid morning.
I was gonna say I've seen that many corpses in his little pictures. So
his boy Adam, shout out whatever Adam's name is. He knows how to stack up them corpses. That's the best death I've ever seen.
Jesus. Our population was originally counted at 239 individuals in 2009, and as of the last count in 2018 has grown to 367 individuals.
That's a lot of border jumping terrorists.
That's 2 more than 1 for every day of the week. I mean, year.
It was first discovered in 2009 by a fisherman at Lake Pleasant when he noticed the large flock come in and land in late November when the busy summer lake is empty of weekend water sports enthusiasts. Is it just me, or is every time I hear water sports enthusiasts, I just think of pee play?
Yeah, it's a pee party.
Fucking
Chuck Berry's piss party is what I think of.
Is he a pee boy?
Oh yeah, he had cameras set up in his restaurant in the women's bathroom because he loved watching them make it tinkle.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Beloved. Inventor of rock and roll, Chuck Berry.
You know what? Every star has a little secret somewhere.
Chuck Berry's piss party.
I don't get it. He can just look up porn. Why does he need to do that?
This was back in the day.
Okay.
I bet you this was reel to reel shit. If I were to bet, or maybe early VHS or something.
Like, someone in the bathroom, start up.
Why is there a vibrating noise in the bathroom, Chuck?
That's
self-cleaning toilet.
This initial research only consisted of the initial counting of the population and fit tracking bracelets on a couple individuals. Come April, the flock left the area of the lake as expected and started their migration to Alaska. This led to the discovery of the second thing that makes this flock so unusual in its behavior. It's normal for the population of geese to begin migrating all at once, usually leaving in smaller groups as I described earlier. This population, however, left a single group on the same day and near as I could tell, the same hour. The radio tracking bracelets fitted to the individuals also shown a strange behavior in their flight patterns.
Are they turning into Voltron geese or what? What's going on here?
Oh, it's gonna hit you like a rock once you get to there.
I can't wait.
I'm sure most everyone here is familiar with the normal V shape that Canadian geese fly in while traveling.
And hockey
did they fly in a pentagram?
I'd love it if they made like a big penis and just flew like that.
Oh, yeah, big cock and balls.
What if they made 88 and had little Nazi outfits?
Goose stepping around.
And they're like, when they're cawing, it's like, zing ow! Whatever it is. Without going into much detail, it is the most optimal flight pattern that a flock can fly in order to conserve energy for the long trip to their breeding grounds during the spring and summer months. We honestly thought it was a mistake when the first reading of the GPS tracking bracelet came and showed that our flock wasn't flying in the V formation.
Whoa.
Because of the few amount of GPS units our team could afford at the time, it was impossible to tell what the formation was, but the distribution of tracked individuals showed definitely that the flock could not be flying in the V pattern normal for Canadian geese. With the unusual size of the flock, our initial findings of the flight pattern, it wasn't hard enough to secure funding for more GPS units to attach the next time the flock appeared at the lake. It also allowed us to get in contact with the closest ornithology professor in Alaska in order to get an accurate account of their breeding grounds. Okay, this guy has a lot of background, but I promise we're getting there.
That's what he's doing. He's clouding it up with facts, so that way he can tell us about the Voltron goose that's about to take shape.
Unfortunately, the breeding area of this flock was in a pretty remote area, so that professor and his students could only get to the breeding grounds for a 2-day span in the middle of June when all of the goslings had already hatched, so their nesting behavior couldn't be studied that first year. However, they were able to accomplish the important task of attaching more GPS units to breeding adults in order to try and get a more accurate representation of their flight patterns.
Sure.
They also gave us an accurate number of individuals in the population. As expected, the GPS units transmitted the first migration data in the middle of October. We were expecting exciting results, as with the inclusion of the new units, we would be able to get a more accurate picture of what their unusual flight pattern actually was. The flock left Alaska in a single hour and formed into the first notable pattern 3 hours afterwards. The pattern wasn't very clear despite the number of GPS units attached, but this could be attributed to the unusual size of the flock. If I have to say GPS units one more fucking time, god damn.
I was thinking size of the flock.
Yeah, unusual flock size and fucking GPS units.
Now, since another year's passed, has this flock gotten much bigger? Is the growth?
We're about to get to the climax.
You can also
Right.
call them Gipsoonies.
Gipsoonies.
It was actually one of our research students working in my team that put the dots together. Quite literally, as our readout of the flight pattern was only a number of dots representing each individual with a unit on it, the student, who I won't name for anonymity, sent me...
I live in a sea of anemones. Cody's Nemo.
Shut up. So he sent me the readout when the flock was somewhere near British Columbia. While missing obvious spots, it was possible to make out the word butcher.
Oh.
Yes, you read that correctly.
Jesus.
The geese were flying in a formation that spelled out the word butcher.
Oh my gosh. This is stupid.
Like I...
These geese own a small business of processing animals.
They're promoting a business here.
Oh my god, the next one that flies over is Mike's.
Butcher Mike's.
Like I imagine most of you are doing right now, I dismissed the image. It had to be an error on the GPS units, or the students was reading too much into it and connecting the dots that weren't there. These geese landed at Lake Pleasant in early November. By sheer chance, the same fisherman that had seen them the first time was out fishing again when they approached the lake and informed us of their arrival again.
You're damnedest thing. They landed and they were swimming around and they spelled out butcher.
These,
In the water.
these witches are flying in the sky. Like, I don't know why a southern man's in Canada. God damn it.
So they landed there and, it just said butcher. So I thought, I should go over to my local butcher shop, get myself a New York strip there.
We gotta get to the part, Jordan. I remember the email from him because he emphasized how freaked out he was when he first saw them from in the distance.
Oh god, the butcher's coming.
Freaked out because he clearly saw that the flock was flying in a pattern that spelled out his last name, Butcher.
Oh my god.
Coincidence? That was the only thing that made sense to think at the time.
Professor Butcher. They knew
No, he's
they
the
were watching.
fisherman.
Fisherman Butcher.
Fisherman Butcher. Or
He's no Fisherman Gordon with his fish sticks.
Or maybe my students had been playing a joke on me with the GPS tracking image and the fisherman was involved. I stopped thinking that when I saw an image of the fisherman's face on the local news 2 weeks later with his full name, Jonathan Butcher, plastered on the TV screen. According to the news anchor, he had been murdered by his wife when he was caught watching porn.
That seems a bit much for watching some porn.
Maybe it was water sports porn.
Right.
He didn't want that.
Right. Just go down to the
Listen.
beach while the goslings are
Honey,
fucking
those
around.
enthusiasts are gone for the year.
What if it was like goose erotica? Like, that's his thing. He loves
Ooh,
goose.
That's what he's into.
That goose.
Is Goose
porn.
Erotica ruining picnics?
That Goose game that came out for Nintendo Switch.
There's
Maybe
a
that's
Goose game?
Oh yeah.
Goose Simulator.
Yeah. You play as an asshole
Oh,
goose.
okay. Can you just attack people when they're feeding you bread?
Well, there's a list of things to do. You gotta like fuck with this farmer for a while. It's pretty fun. You gotta like throw his rake in the river. It's pretty. It's a
Can
good
they
time.
pick up a rake?
With their little beaks?
Yeah.
They can grab the bottom of the rake and then drag it over
Yeah, I
to
suppose.
the. I played the first level advances.
The next couple of months were filled with multiple trips to Lake Pleasant, attaching more GPS units we managed to scrape together and get another count of the population for our records. The flock left in April as a single unit just like last year, although we weren't able to get a visual on what their finalized pattern looked like until the first GPS readings came in a couple hours later. This time the word they spelled out was much clearer as the new GPS units filled up many of the gaps that we had seen in the previous readings. This was when I finally started to believe that something strange was going on. As I had gotten these readings myself, it wouldn't have been impossible for any of my team to change or mess with them. The word itself didn't mean anything to me besides being a name of a former pitcher for the Arizona's MLB team. In May...
Are they not allowed to say Diamondbacks? Or what?
I don't know. He just said MLB
Is
team.
it Randy Johnson?
I was going to say, that's the only one you can think of. Oh my god, are they going to take revenge on Randy Johnson for throwing that pitch that explodes the bird?
Remember that?
It could be. That'd be a great ending to this.
Apparently, he never recovered from that. That haunted him.
That
Really?
haunted him
Yeah.
and destroyed him?
Yeah.
Why? It's just a bird.
I know, but that was the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Right?
That was.
I
You should
mean-
just win the game instantly if
Yes.
you do that.
To
If
go
you-
back to
yes.
my favorite podcast when they were live in Minneapolis, All Fantasy Everything, they did Things You Wish You Could Do in Sports, and Cy Edmondson, who's a stand-up comic around here and writes for ESPN, his first pick was throwing a pitch to explode a bird.
Yeah. Yep. It's
Okay.
a solid pick.
Do we know was that technically a ball?
I think
know
it
what?
was a redo.
Is a redo?
Mulligan.
Okay,
I
mulligan.
feel like you have to give him a strike on that.
I would give him instant win.
Game's over, everyone go home.
Yeah.
All right, back to the story. In May 2010, Wendy Schilling of Anchorage, Alaska, was shot and killed by her husband when he arrived home early from his long-haul truck route to find her in bed with his brother.
Was her brother's name also
No,
a
I think
name
it was
for
Schilling.
horny dick?
Schilling was what they were spelling
Kurt
out.
Schilling.
Oh, is he a player for them?
Wait, Kurt Schilling.
Schilling.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
What form of currency is a shilling?
That's the British people.
This is the British, okay.
Yeah.
This happened 2.5 weeks after our Canadian geese flock landed at their breeding grounds. Because of this particular interest I was taking with this flock, I asked my colleague to check on the flock in their breeding grounds and note any odd or particular behavior the flock showed while there. Bless his heart, he spent an entire week at the breeding grounds by himself, taking a count and attaching even more GPS units to them.
How many do they have now? Like this
is like hundreds of GPS units. We're almost done, I promise.
My God.
Unfortunately, the week didn't yield any unusual behavior from the flock, and hence didn't give any answers as to what the hell was going on. Come October of 2010, the flock flies out of their home in Alaska and towards their summer home here in Arizona. Considering what had happened the last 2 times I waited impatiently while the first GPS readings came in. Townsend.
Oh my god, not Devin Townsend, the
No,
lead
Pete
singer.
Townsend.
Pete Townsend.
Oh, not the lead singer of Strappy Young Lad.
Oh, child molester Pete Townsend.
A week and a half after landing at Lake Pleasant, Jacqueline Townsend was killed in a road accident when her husband drove drunk from the bar in northern Phoenix. The husband survived the accident and was charged with manslaughter. In April 2011, the flock left Lake Pleasant and arrived in Alaska, keeping a formation that spelled out the name Richardson.
Where did they find Richardson
Oh
dead?
my god, not Jason Richardson, guitarist of All That Remains.
This dumbass, stupid story about prophet birds.
In June 2011, Tim Richardson disappeared in the Alaskan wilderness when his partner and him went camping just outside of Anchorage. While the partner was eventually recovered, Tim was never found and has been declared dead.
He was murdered by his partner.
He was killed. Annie Nowak, murdered by her abusive husband in Phoenix in December 2011, 2 weeks after our geese landed at Lake Pleasant. Brennan Zamora, Maeve Doherty,
Not Chris Daughtry.
Daughtry, Emmanuel Chambers, every single one dead at the fault of the person who loves them the most in the world.
Shit.
Every single one dead within 3 weeks of our geese landing within 100 miles of them. every single one named weeks beforehand. Because I don't want to sound like a crazy person and get all of my funding cut from my other research. I've never published these results of this research. However, I feel the
Aren't
need...
you guilty then for like the deaths of all those people?
Do you think so? If you see a prophecy,
if you know that,
dead,
yeah.
Can you get charged with like neglectful murder or something? Neglectful manslaughter?
Would that be aiding and abetting?
I mean,
killer geese?
These geese are spelling it out. I'm sure the police would be like, okay, Townsend, I guess we'll canvass the area for Townsend.
Maybe we should keep an eye on his wife.
These are the precogs from Minority Report in goddamn goose form, and nobody's doing shit about it.
However, I feel the need to mention this because these geese left their winter home at Lake Pleasant yesterday. Just like all of our other GPS readings over the last decade, the formation of the bird spelled out a name. I'm currently on a working vacation with my wife in Anchorage to try and see this group of geese come in for myself, so I was excited to look at their first GPS readings from the flock yesterday. I became a lot less excited when I saw the name that they spelled out. Stevenson. My name is Dr. Aaron Stevenson.
Oh my god.
So his wife's gonna kill him. That's
his
it.
cousin is gonna die.
Right there. Alright, Adam looks very disappointed.
Yeah, that was the dumbest. I mean, that was just trash. That's trash.
That is the beauty of creepypastas.
But that led me down a road, and then they gave me the punchline, and then just kept talking for like 14 more years.
I think maybe what he needed to do is like erase all the filler. Like all the GPS units, get rid of all the GPS units.
Yes.
Cody, the GPS units are integral to the story. How else would they have seen the names?
But then it wouldn't be what it is.
He's got like a flock of fucking cybernetic geese up there forming people's names.
If this had any sort of editing at all, it would...
Dude, there's no commas, no periods.
Yeah.
It's just... It's challenging.
See, my favorite thing is like the misspelled words and improperly used nouns and shit.
It's
you
so
know what?
Good. With creepypastas, you're just tossing it at the wind.
Yep, just tossing it at the wind there. That's that old plum of a saying.
We're throwing Kosh into the wind.
We're just tossing stuff at the wind.
We're pissing in the wind.
They're just pissing into the wind here, boys. That one's more real. Jordan, why don't you throw one at me?
Well, I think I will go ahead and do that, Adam.
Thanks, buddy.
So this story comes from Creepypasta.com. It is just entitled Scarecrows, written by Ramses the Pigeon.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I like
these bird connections. We're just...
It's a bird-themed episode here.
Pumping the birds around here.
Sunset had fallen on the countryside, and the warmth of the day was fading with each passing moment. Vespers of an autumn breeze whispered through the fields, setting the amber stalks of corn into a somber dance. Yet with each swaying step, two interlopers were revealed, standing stark and defiant against the motion of their surroundings.
It's too much words. This guy's trying to use too much words at once.
Stephen King Jr.
He's a flowery piece of shit. You're a bad writer, sir.
Interlopers.
In seeing their still forms... Adam, I'm trying to read a story here.
It's bad.
That's the point.
In seeing their still forms, one might almost believe that they never breathed nor blinked. Such was certainly the common belief, perhaps shared even by the figures themselves, which made it all the more surprising when one of them spoke. "My arms hurt, Frank."
Shit.
The second figure remained motionless, though a flicker of expression may have crossed its face. "Frank, my arms hurt."
Why does his arms hurt? Did he get a flu shot?
"Damn it, Jed." With a shuffling of cloth and straw, Frank turned his face to his partner. "When they sent you here, they said you was the best choice. You said you knew the rules. Now shut up before someone hears you."
Fred never shuts up.
His arms is hurt.
Silence returned to the field, broken only by the rustling of currents through the corn. Even a nearby stream, which burbled happily in the hours of daylight, seemed to have hushed itself in preparation for the dusk. This night was an important one, and its task was all but sacred. "Aw, who's gonna hear us, Frank?" "It's not the point. What matters is if someone did. We ain't supposed to talk.
I think Frank and Jeb, is that his name, Jeb?
Jed.
Okay, yeah, they're definitely hillbillies. Are they like fucking out here, or what are they doing?
Are they aliens?
Jed considered this, though the contents of his head were hardly suited to higher reasoning. Well, it's a stupid job anyway. Ain't nobody passed yet that hasn't laughed at us.
Oh, they're scarecrows.
Oh, okay.
Hence the title.
I can see why his arms hurt then.
I get it now.
Because he's like being crucified in a
Hey,
field
was it
there.
supposed to be a dawn on us moment, or are we just stupid?
I think you're just stupid, to be
Shit
quite
on
honest
my
with
nipples.
you.
See, I thought they were farmers just hanging out.
I thought the story was from the perspective of a scarecrow watching two like lovebirds come into the cornfield.
like kissing, like
Yeah.
Jed and whatever,
Yeah.
are just making out, and
I
the
thought they were
scarecrow's
gonna
watching.
They're gonna start getting some.
This
butt
story
pumping.
now makes way more sense to me. Let's go.
Frank sighed, removed his hat, and scratched at his leathery skin. Look, Jed, that may very well be. Fact is, it don't matter one bit. It's got to be done. You understand me? No. Good. What the hell you mean, no? Ain't no one ever told you the story?
Oh.
The straw around Jed's neck made a raspy noise as he shook his head.
Ugh.
Folks keep saying... Sorry, wrong accent. Folks keep saying I'll learn it when I have the need. I've been starting to think they don't know it themselves.
Sounds like George.
It does. Hey, buddy.
Bud.
Oh, they know it all right. Frank cleared his throat and made a spitting motion at the ground,
Ooh.
though his lips remained dry.
Yeah, he's made out of straw. He's got no saliva.
They know it, sure as they know their own mamas. Just that, well, it ain't exactly pleasant talk. He sighed again, as much from the frustration of having to speak as from the thought of his next words. See, there was a time, some many years ago, when these fields were beset by a plague. Not a plague of illness, mind, no. This plague came as winged beasts from the sky, black as night. They were with voices like something from a nightmare. Crows, whispered Jed. His eyes scanned what little of the horizon he could see beyond the cornfield.
The enemy.
I've heard tell of them. Figured they were a children's tale.
God.
You don't even know what your job is.
So
idiot.
he's like an infant scarecrow.
He must be new to the job.
He's not familiar with
new
this.
recruit. Oh yeah, that's when they were like, when they sent you here, they said you was going to be good. Yeah,
I gotcha. Okay.
good job. Did they say he was outstanding in his field? Because that would be
They did not.
okay. That's
Adam,
good.
we're not going for puns right now.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm
all
just.
right.
This story keeps blowing my mind. I take back everything I said about the author.
His field of work his field of work is unremarkable.
That's a good thing for a scarecrow, right?
It is.
Frank shifted his weight, adjusting the rigid stick on which he rested his arms. That may be, but there's truth in the stories. Crows are real enough, even if one scarcely hears of them in anything but legend these days. Back when their terror was at hand, they'd descend on these fields and eat their fill,
Ugh.
leaving precious little for the folks who toiled with the seed. It brought a hardship on the land, leaving everyone desperate. My arms still hurt, Frank. Frank rolled his eyes. We're talking, ain't we? Have a rest. Hell, sit down for all it matters now. Thanks, Frank. Jed dropped from his post and crumpled to the ground, suddenly looking very much like a lifeless pile of rags. So what happened?
Jeb's a whiny boy.
Yeah,
He's a whiner.
he's having trouble adjusting.
Though he opened his mouth to speak, Frank hesitated. On any other night, the words were just a story. But on this night, they might be something more. You keep a listen for anything amiss, all right? Jed nodded, and Frank resumed his tale. It was a dark time, to be sure. Dark enough that some reckoned they might employ a darkness of their own. He closed his eyes and recited the secret verse, known only to those who stood watch in the field.
No.
So I don't know if this is supposed to be a song or a poem. I don't know if I Should I sing it?
If they're scarecrows, I imagine they're very sad boys, maybe poemish.
Yeah. Cut yourself style poetry.
All right. Gathered they the walls of green, left to dry by day, shaped into a sentinel. In clothing was the hay, set upon tormented fields against the demon's caw. Given life by darkness, the men of naught but straw gave to them the hollow charge upon the darkest night, paid the price for vigilance when absent was the light. Gathered they one of the young, for empty demon's craw, taken by the darkness, the men of naught but straw.
Oh, it's Lord Alfred Tennyson, but for stickmen, strawmen. What are they called?
Who the fuck is Lord S. L. Tennyson?
He made the Charge of the Light Brigade.
I don't know what that is.
The Valley of Death rode the brave, whatever.
I don't know what
All right, whatever. Move on from it then.
Strawman, whispered Jed. Strawman, like us, Frank?
That's right.
Frank's expression grew colder as he shook his head. Don't you be thinking that way. The strawmen were something other than living, Jed. Scared the crows away, they did, but at a terrible cost. They were dead inside, see? Stayed where they were meant to, like statues, save for one night a year, when they'd come alive and have a reaping. Only it wasn't corn they took away, but a child. One child left outside past sunset.
Oh, no.
It's just like the Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Wasn't he a sex offender?
Yes. It was insane.
Children are outside past sunset all the time, Frank. Not on this night, Frank hissed. He lowered his voice even further. On this night, the children wear masks. The strawmen can't see those who hide their eyes. Not unless they look at the strawman first. Jed fell silent, chastised. The sky had darkened considerably, with only the most tenacious rays of the dying light still piercing the walls of corn. Somewhere in the distance, a woman's voice called out for her son. Hey, Frank. What? I still don't get it, Frank. Frank sighed again. Don't get what? Why we're out here. Why we got to stand here like this. Why folks laugh at us. I mean, we're strawmen, right, Frank? In response, Frank launched a kick at his companion's leg. Ow! Why'd you go and do that for? If you was a straw man, Frank said, do you reckon that would have hurt? You're flesh and blood, Jed. So how can you be a straw man? Well, I mean, it's pretend, ain't it? I fill my clothes with straw and play make-believe, right? Frank tapped a gloved hand against the side of his hat. Up here, it might be pretend. But here, he thumped his fist against his chest, making his stuffed shirt crackle. It's all real. That's what matters, Jed. He swung his arms wide, gesturing to the fields around them. You want to know why you're out here? It's so that fear don't come back. Even one child being taken keeps that terror festering, keeps folks in mourning. Might as well have the crows back. But if someone goes to stand watch, then the strawmen don't come walking. They can all rest easy. They can laugh at their fear and get on with their lives. Now do you get it? I get it, Frank, Jed hurriedly replied. I'm here to stand watch. I got it. Good. Now back up on your post. We got a long night ahead.
Ooh.
Jed retook his position, and Frank readjusted his own. The wind had died with the sunlight, leaving the cornfields completely still. Hey, Frank. Shut up. Sorry. Jed closed his mouth. Only, what happens to them, Frank? To the children. What children? You know, pushed Jed. The children that they take away. Frank turned to regard his companion. The poor boy was hardly out of his youth, with only the barest hint of stubble on his chin. Even in the darkness, an earnest innocence twinkled in his eye. You sure you want to know, Jed? Jed turned to meet Frank's gaze. Yeah, Frank, I'm sure.
They go to Pete Townsend's house.
As he had done before, Frank reached up to remove his hat. Only this time, his entire head came away,
Oh,
leaving a rigid cluster of yellow streaming from his shirt. They become straw man, Jed.
no.
They become straw
it.
man.
No.
The end.
Fuck.
No.
So Jed is a straw man, or Frank's a straw
Frank's
man.
a straw man.
So the
Damn
people, they don't want to pay the price. They don't want to pay the price of one child to keep the crows away.
So they just... I don't know. I'm confused about the whole story.
Yeah, it
I
almost seems like
I think the
real humans dress up as scarecrows.
Yeah, to
yeah.
keep the scarecrows from stealing the children. I don't know.
Right.
That's what I got out of it.
I don't know.
It was good.
It was good. It was spooky. It was spooky.
Yeah, very spooky.
It was. I was shivered to the bone. You know.
I got a fear boner.
I don't know where to go from there. Yeah.
Well, if you have a fear boner too, that'd be.
I got
helpful.
a feared anal dilation.
a fear
I have a newfound
sphincter twitch.
fear of crows.
Yeah, fuck crows, man.
Well, you know what? Growing up in Iowa, never had scarecrows ever.
Never?
No, I don't even think they're effective anymore. Like I don't think they do anything but it look cool, kind of.
Yeah. Did the crows just get too smart for it?
I feel like they probably did, because crows are very intelligent.
They're like,
Crow-
that's a fake. That's a fraudulent
That
man.
doesn't look like a child stuffed with
Yeah,
straw out
yeah.
there. I don't know. I don't think crows are a problem there.
Oh, well, that's good.
Even though crows are annoying as fuck.
What kind of pestilent bird is down there?
I don't think they're worried about birds. They're more like insects. They're more worried about insects. Even though I don't think insects get scared of scarecrows.
They
No,
might.
but they probably get scared of chemicals.
They do.
Yeah.
They get scared of Monsanto.
Yes.
Just like humans do too.
Certainly. And if
all
they're not,
scared.
they should be.
We're all collective. They should just put like a Monsanto sign out there. That'll scare everybody.
Cody, did you say you had another one?
Yeah, and I got one. I think it'll be right up your alley.
Is it a big, good one?
It's not about birds, unfortunately, but
We can't keep it rolling.
it's called A Haunting Most Mario.
Okay.
Once, I wanted to play Mario, but I didn't have a Nintendo for it.
Well,
and
that's a problem.
And I was at a flea market. This old man I saw had Mario and an NES, but the label was not there. The man said it was owned by a dead kid named Jim. I just said, whatever, because I was eager to play Mario on my new NES. Mm-hmm. I plugged it in, and everything seemed normal. I played World 1-1 and did it. Then I tried the old warp pipe trick, and when I got to the pipes, and instead of the usual text that said, "Welcome to the warp zone," it said, "Welcome to the scary hell place." I thought that was weird. I said, whatever, and used the farthest pipe. The intro screen showed the world, Death World 666. The graphics seemed off, and it sounded like screams happened from the game. It was super scary.
It was super scary, bro.
But I wasn't scared and kept playing.
It was super scary, but I wasn't scared.
After a while, I hit a place that was impossible to pass because of the spikes, so I had to die. I kept trying until my lives were at 0. I thought it was game over, but Mario came back, and this time it looked like his face was bloody. As I started playing the level, it turned into the hidden cloud level, and it looked like Mario had angel wings. A spooky digital voice came out of the Nintendo that sounded like it said, "No hope." As I was about to grab a mushroom, the screen went black. I resetted the NES, and then the game came up. This time the title screen was different, and Mario's face was bloody. It scared me so much that I reset it again. As it came on, the digital voice said, "You can't run from the funk." The screen was hyper-realistic, and it showed Mario again, only this time his face was me, and my family's face. And we were skeletons.
No, I just want to know when it says you can't run from the funk, does just
don't
a
know.
doot, 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 the
I
intro
don't
to
know.
Lowrider by War come on?
I love this part. Only this time, his face was on me and my family's face, and we were skeletons. Like, how would you know? How would you know it's his family? How would you know it's his family?
Face was on me and my family's face, and we were skeletons?
Yeah, how would you know it's him? It was so realistic. I couldn't believe it. I was compelled to try the game again. This time, I started it. As the first Goomba walked towards Mario, Mario turns towards the screen and started screaming, "No mas, no mas."
But he's Italian.
Jason was a Mexican, the kid that owned it. That's got to be the case.
It sounded like high quality CD audio as blast processing. I screamed and turned off the game. I put it away. Later that week, I noticed my family acting distantly. I decided to research Mario games, and I found out that Mario was in a secret game that was only released in 2 arcades on Friday the 13th on June 6th, 1997.
Holy shit!
It seemed weird, so I started playing video games again. What the fuck? I decided to put in the Mario game again. I loaded it up. I saw my save file. I clicked it, and Mario said, "Why you no stop playing a game? My game, gamer."
Why you no stop playing on my game?
I didn't take his warning, and I played anyway.
What idiot.
I got up to Bowser, and I won. But when I got Peach, there was a Toad there instead, and he said, "Peach is dead."
Fuck.
And then a ghost face came up, and it had a lady's face, and Princess Peach is the lady. I reset what the fuck? I reset the game for the last time. I opened up my save, and it changed from my name. It said, "Jim died, bro. Ah!" Then my mom walked in, and she screamed, I was dead the whole time, and guess what? My name was Jim.
Oh, shit.
So anyway, I don't know if any of you guys have experienced anything like that. It might have just been a bad dream. And anyway, my mom said, and my mom sold the cartridge at a yard sale, so I don't have it anymore.
Oh.
But you should believe it because it's true.
Okay.
I see. So he was the kid who died.
Oh, he was Jim.
He was Jim.
Wait, I thought his name was Jake. Man, I don't
know.
I can't keep up with this
He said the man sold the cartridge, and he was dead. I don't know.
Oh, and then his mom sold it at a yard sale.
Yes.
Yeah, but he bought the cartridge at a flea market, I thought it said.
Oh,
No,
my
he was
God.
the dead kid from the Mario game. So he was he watching the other kid play it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I really don't know.
All I know is it had high quality
Welcome to
CD
the-
audio, also blast processing, whatever that is.
And welcome to the scary hell place.
Well, Cody, blast
I think we have a
processing
title
was
for
on
this
Sega
week's
Genesis.
episode.
Ah, okay.
Because Sega does what Nintendo don't. Mm-hmm. You understand?
I got it. All right, well, that's good, Mario. So stupid.
That's certainly Mario. That's that 1997 June 6th arcade release for the NES or whatever. I don't know what was going on in that store. I love
Listen.
it, though. I definitely love
I just
it.
like how Mario yelled, "No mas, no mas."
All right, now we're going to wrap this up with Jordan's final story. Why don't you take it away, Jordan?
Yay.
Oh, this final story is called Hooter My Scooter,
Yes, it is.
written by Fandom Trash. It 'twas just another day in Manhattan. You were walking home from school when all of a sudden a tall, faceless man appears in the woods next to you and pulls you into the woods. Into the woods.
Oh.
He pulls you up high into the air and sticks his tongue out in disgusting, "Human? Are you human?" Then he comes closer and seems to smell you. He vomits. "I have never smelled a human as disgusting as you do. I admire that kid," he says. You look at the glasses on his face, wondering why he needs them since he has no eyes.
That'll do it.
"Why are you wearing glasses?" The glasses on his faceless face cracked. Because they are trendy. And is that literally all you are going to say? You nod and decide to flex on this son of a bitch, so you pull out your high-quality Gucci glasses and put them on. He gasps and kneels down in respect for your non-fake Gucci. You laugh. Peasant, I knew you were no match for my Gucci glasses. Then, you kick his faceless face and grab his musty, crusty glasses and shoves them into his mouth. He chews. Crickets.
You choose them?
Crickets. Blood starts oozing out of his mouth and non-existing eyes. You gasp in horror. He is getting that blood all over the cashmere sweater you're wearing. He cries and apologizes to you. Squumbledore would be ashamed. You kick him in his faceless face and punch him in the cricket. Is that how you're gonna do the Macarena, Gladys? He asks. He wiggles his non-existent eyebrows. No, but I can do the electric slide. Then you start moonwalking out of the woods. How you do it with all those sticks and thorns, it is a miracle. Wait, no, it's a film theory. He stands up with a smile on his faceless face. You absolute thought. I can do better than that. He does a cartwheel out of the woods too, and then does the Cupid shuffle over to you.
What the fuck is a Cupid
You
shuffle?
gasp and immediately start getting jiggy with it.
Oh.
He looks offended. You study his faceless face again and discover he has one weakness. He cannot bust it down, Tatiana.
Ah, that'll do it.
What voodoo?
That'll do what? What'll that do, Cody?
He can't bust it down.
I see. That'll do it.
What food do we have? Hot dogs? Do we have avocado? Did we run out of avocado? The random thought came into your head. You knew your next move. The banana song dance.
Oh, yeah.
Avocado style.
Oh, yeah.
Peel the avocado. Peel the avocado. Oh my god.
What's going on?
Dude, there is so much bad spelling. Guacamole! His arms and legs spazzing about. You then proceed to shapeshift into the human form of a crab and perfectly reenact the crab rave while spilling offensive slurs of all kinds at this poor, slender man. He looks defeated on his faceless face. You have outdanced him. He was about to say something when a loud, eerie sound was heard. That came from your phone. A notification you got just a second ago read, looking for children, trading ice cream for children. Come in any also free Netflix and chill. You panic and throw your phone, breaking it. One last notification sounds and it says, "Yes, Big Daddy." You look up from your phone and see another faceless tall man in a fedora, in which wiggles his two non-existing eyebrows at you. And you just bolt down the street. Bye-bye, Felicia. Poison.
That's not even the goddamn quote. That's too many buys.
I don't know what the hell was. So he met Slender Man.
Two Slender Mans.
Two Slender Mans. He had a dance off with them.
They did the Cupid slide.
I haven't heard the electric slide in so long.
I haven't been to a wedding in a while.
It's electric. Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
It's electric.
All I know is someone moonwalked out of that forest.
That reminded me of those Nickelodeon moon shoes. You remember those?
Oh, yeah.
You remember those?
I don't remember them.
They're like...
Oh, the moon boots.
Moon boots,
yeah,
yes.
Okay. I should have been able to put that together, but my head is in a different spot.
Well, those were all completely fucking awful. But,
I don't know. I think Scarecrow's was pretty good.
Scarecrow's was good.
You think? Okay.
Scarecrow's was like... I take back everything I said. It was good.
You didn't like the GPS units geese one?
There was a lot of GPS units.
There's a lot of GPS units.
There's a lot of talk about flocks.
And a lot of not getting to the fucking point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not an ornithologist, so I had no connection to that at all.
Well, the moral of the story was They spelled out his name, now he's dead.
We know that.
He's sleeping.
It just took way too long to get there.
He's sleeping with the geesies now.
His wife killed him.
R.I.P. Big homie. So, shit. Anybody else got anything to say? Or
No, I don't think so. I think we've killed the creepypasta world now.
have we done it?
We've destroyed the creepypastas with creepypastas, one good creepypasta and then 3 stupid ones.
We got in there soft and stiffened up on the inside.
Welcome to the scary hell place.
It's October. We need to have a little fun here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Spookiest month of the year, so.
Certainly. All right. Well, shit, that's okay then. If you want to tell us how to be spooky this October, you can do so at bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com.
What's that, Adam?
Bumblebuttpodcast@gmail.com. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at BumblebuttPod and Facebook and Instagram at BumblebuttPodcast. We also have personal Instagrams. Mine is at BumbleAdam. Jordan's at j.j.fox.
Bet.
And Cody is at CodyZabub. Now it's time for the most important part of the show, at least if you ask Cody. It's the iTunes reviews.
Yeah, even though we unfortunately didn't even release an episode last week, we got, I think it was three more reviews, which took us over our milestone of 100.
Yes.
Which is fucking amazing.
We're sitting at 102 now, right?
Yeah, well, we were, and now my iTunes says 101 again.
No!
Hopefully someone didn't retract it. No,
Okay.
so, I think what it is sometimes is iTunes, like, if it initially gives you the 5-star non-written, and then in the processing of putting the written on there, it disappears, then comes back. So
well, that's fine.
I'm assuming that's what it is.
It'll be back.
iTunes is stupid as shit. So, anyway, we got the 2 written ones that we have written, or we can see here, is, it's from Herbalocity.
What did he say? I bet it
says
fucking...
SNH.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. It says great cast.
That's his review?
That's his review.
That's Herschel, the man you heard on Wednesday. I asked him to leave us a review. I told him it didn't matter what he wrote.
That's true. It didn't. It does not matter.
I thought maybe he would put a little more than SNH great cast.
What does SNH mean?
I have no clue.
If you know, send it to bumblebuttpodcast.
Herschel, if you know, call me, please. I have no idea.
Herschel, if you know what SNH means, let us know. We don't know.
Let us know at work on Monday. Thank you.
All right.
Maybe it means still not hating.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Maybe he's still not hating.
He's maybe not. All right. So our next one is from Bossy Hen Embroidery. I've actually seen her on Instagram. I know all her stuff.
Prints shirts and embroiders stuff.
That machine, that like embroider machine, is insane.
It looks like how it's made.
It looks like something out of Minority Report.
Yeah, I guess.
Precog geese.
Says, great podcast. Great podcast, guys. I feel like I'm part of the group. I appreciate the social banter exchange between podcast hosts. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much, guys, for all them reviews. That's amazing. Definitely. So not only did we break 100, but we're at 98 just 5-star reviews. So that's really good. So
we haven't had to deal with people hating us too much.
No, not too much. It's funny because we haven't had to deal with any hate on here, but like on Subliminal Deception, people are hating. But I expect
that's just me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just you?
Yeah, it's all my alt accounts.
I figured I'm going to be experiencing hate there because conspiracy theory people are crazy. So
they're a little less forgiving.
If you don't agree with what they believe, then they don't really like you very much, which is fine.
Truth, yeah.
You know what?
Everybody's got to live for something.
So quickly, on last podcast, they said they don't do conspiracies because it got too serious now. You think that's true? I don't know. I think they're still funny.
I think they're great.
They're just like, it's like Creepypastas. It's just like, you just kind of shrug like, okay, whatever.
I guess that's going up
whatever
right
works.
Yeah.
Whatever works. But yeah. So thank you very much for them reviews. What'd you set our new goal at? 200 by March?
It's not a goal. It's a milestone.
Milestone. Gotcha. Okay.
200 by
March Madness.
Yes,
that's our goal.
Let's
200 by
go.
March
that's
Madness.
not even.
Let's
go.
If we get 200 by March Madness, I will put a healthy wager on a. Let's go 14 seed in the tournament.
Jordan will shave his pubes into 200.
You have to. If we get there, Jordan will bet on BYU winning the tournament.
$5,000.
It doesn't matter if they're
by
on the
healthy
tournament
wager.
or not.
I was thinking something along the lines of 30.
$30,000.
No,
Hell yeah,
$30. 30. No additional zeros or commas.
All right.
But a period and infinite commas, though.
And I will, if it hits, I will split the winnings with myself.
Well, that's a good. You
Yeah,
know what?
there
That's a
you go.
great incentive to get these people to.
I think that's called betting.
I'll send you $10.
That's great. You'll send everyone $10. That's good.
No, I will send the 200th reviewer $10.
Oh,
There you go.
I think if we have cash prize that falls into like something else, we're getting in trouble. So no, we're not going to do that. A $10 Amazon McDonald's gift card.
There you go.
Perfect. All right, is that anybody else have anything?
Nope, we should do it.
All right.
I just want to give a shout out to my brother, Nate.
Shout out, Nate.
At the time of recording right now, he is currently competing in the Big Buck World Championships in Vegas.
Whoa.
Best of luck,
Okay.
bud.
Is that at the
Good luck.
Luxor this year?
Yes,
or no?
it is.
Oh yeah, at the gaming esports arena.
Yep, it was there last year, too.
That's funny.
That's sweet. You
Yeah,
probably
that's
should have
awesome.
said that at the beginning of the show. But
Yeah, I forgot. My mom's
Whatever.
been texting me that he's like still in it. So
Shouts out,
Hell
Nate.
yeah.
Good luck,
All
brother.
right.
All right, that's gonna do it for all of us here. I've been Adam. That's been Cody. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Adam.
That's been Jordan. Thank you, Jordan.
thank you, Adam.
All right, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Listen Tuesday.
Odor my scooter while I'm on my computer.